Hello everyone, my name is Shreya and I'm a legal intern at Lexis and Company. I am pursuing BA LLB Honours from Law College Dehradun, Uttaranchal University. I am currently in 7th semester and I am glad to have this opportunity of presenting to you guys with this video. So the purpose and topic for this video will be the benefits under the ESI Act. I'll explain the various benefits under the ESI Act which are mentioned under section 46 of the same. I'll explain these benefits in my different videos. So today I'll explain to you guys the sickness benefits under the ESI Act. So the sickness benefit is a kind of benefit which is provided every month according to the degree of sickness, and that degree of sickness is to be certified by the qualifying medical practitioner or by any other person possessing such qualifications or experience. And the corporation may also specify the qualification and experience of the person for such regulation to determine the amount of sickness and to the benefit which is to be provided according to it. And the sickness benefit is that which will be provided only when a person of that certified sickness have worked for complete 9 months with insurable employment, that is he should be a insured employee of the under the ESI Act. So this was about the basic. Moving on to the different qualifications required to get the sickness benefits. First, the employee must have worked in the establishment for at least for 78 days during the contribution period. Now, what is contribution period? Contribution period means that period where there is contribution which is made by the employee to the employer or the employer or to the establishment, sorry. um, that is basically it is in the form of tax. Certain percentage of contribution is fixed by the act also, and the contribution period is basically of 6 months. There are two contribution period in 1 year. The first contribution period is from 1st April to 30th September, and the second contribution period is from 1st July to 31st December. Sorry, the first contribution period is from 1st April to 30 September, and the second contribution period is from 1st October to 31 March. And there is one cash benefit period also, which is from 1st January of the following year to the 30 June, and the second cash benefit period will be from 1st July to 31st December. And the last qualifying condition for the sickness benefit is that the sickness benefit will be provided to the employee and it will not be provided to his family members. Only the person who is insured will be given the sickness benefit. So the conditions where the person is not entitled for sickness benefit, basically the persons are entitled for getting sickness benefit under the different cases of diseases which are mentioned under the act. But there are two conditions basically where the person will not be entitled for the sickness benefit. Those are in case of leave, holiday or strike. The person will, if the person gets some disease during the time of either leave, holiday or strike, the person will not get the sickness benefit. And second condition is that the person will not be entitled for sickness benefit if he or she is getting wages for such period. That is the same point. Next is that if he or she remains failed to submit the medical certificate within the 3 days from the date of its issue. That is, you have to compulsorily submit that medical certificate which is issued to you by the medical practitioner certifying your sickness, and which makes you entitled for getting the sickness benefit under the act. So what is the duration for which the person will be entitled for sickness benefit is of maximum for a benefit of 91 days in any two consecutive benefit periods. That is, out of the two consecutive benefit periods, you will be only entitled for 91 days. And the benefit period is that period in which the employee gets the benefit, and it is of 6 months from 1st Jan to 30 June. So at what rate is the sickness benefit provided? The 70% of the SBR, that is the standard benefit rate is fixed for providing the sickness benefit. And so what is this standard benefit rate? Standard benefit rate is obtained by calculating the average of the daily wages and dividing it by the total dividing the total wages during the contribution period by the number of days for which those wages were paid. So that is the total wages paid and the number of days for which those wages have been provided. Through this you will calculate the standard benefit rate. And moving on to the recipients of the sickness or the disablement benefit, they should observe the following conditions which are specified in section 64. That is, if you do not comply with such conditions, you will be not given the sickness benefit. So these are that the person shall remain under the medical treatment at the dispensary, hospital, clinic or any other institution which is provided under this act, and he or she shall carry out instructions which are given by the medical officer or the medical in charge, and he or she shall not do anything while under the treatment which have the chances of decreasing the recovery, and person shall not leave the area without the permission of the medical officer, and he or she shall not allow himself to be examined by any other medical officer. That is, he or she shall allow himself properly to be examined by the appointed officer. You should not trouble that officer in giving you proper treatment, and if these conditions are fulfilled, only then you will be entitled for getting the sickness benefit. So there are two more terms to the sickness benefit, that is of enhanced sickness benefit and the extended sickness benefit. Enhanced sickness benefit is given to the insured women for 14 days for tubectomy, and in case of male, the it is for 7 days in case of vasectomy, and the amount payable here is double than that of the standard sickness benefit rate. That is, it will be equal to the full wages under the enhanced sickness benefit. And again, it is the same, that the benefit is provided on behalf of the medical certificate. It is compulsory to produce the medical certificate. Moving on to the what is extended sickness benefit under this act. When the period of 91 days for the general period for which the sickness benefit is provided, after that also the person is still suffering from any disease, any of the 34 diseases which have been specified under this act, the extended sickness benefit is also provided. And such benefit will be provided only when the person is continuously employed for a period of 2 years and has paid contribution for at least 156 days during the period of 2 years. That is, it means for 4 consecutive periods. That is, you have to have paid for this much days, only then you will be entitled for extended sickness benefit. And it can be extended to 124 days from 91 days in the first instance, and it can also be then extended to 2 years during the period of 3 years of insurable employment. That is, if you have worked for 3 years, you can also get a extended sickness benefit for a period of 2 years, and it will be given at the rate of 70% of the SBR. So this was all about the sickness benefit provided under this act. So I hope you guys have understood all the points. If you have any question, to ask me and share the feedback. And yeah, do not forget to like and share this video. So thank you everyone for watching.